let's get back to your book. Why did you write the book? You've had four best-selling books. Keto Flex was your last one. Why did you write Metabolic Freedom?
I wanted to write a book for the masses. Keto Flex, my last book was a niche book. It was more about keto and fasting, which is great because I love keto and fasting. But I wanted to write a book that appealed to the masses. Metabolic Freedom is not a niche book. It's not a book about keto, although there's an entire chapter on keto. It's not a book about fasting, although there's an entire chapter on fasting. Those are just tools in the shed. I wanted to write a book that is relatable to somebody who's already in this space doing some of the things we're talking about here, or somebody who's brand new. I wanted to write that because we have metabolic diseases on the rise, not just in the US, not just in Africa, but all across the world. And God didn't design us for sickness. We were designed to thrive. We were made to thrive, to your podcast name. And I wanted to show a blueprint on how to do that. I wanted to share my story. I wanted to share my dad's story. And then I wanted to share the main causes towards metabolic disease. The first half of the book is all about the top causes that contribute to metabolic disease, because we first have to identify what's interfering. The second half of the book identifies the solutions, and then it's all wrapped together in a 30-day plan, chapter 12, to now implement what you've learned, because we could give people information, but information is potential power. When you apply it for a long period of time or enough time, then you actually get results. It's not just about learning, it's about applying. So I put together a 30-day plan so you could actually apply what you've just read. And there's a plan for beginners, it's a plan for those who are advanced. And I dedicated the book to my dad, who died from a metabolic disease in 2014. And I'm excited because the book is reaching the masses. The book just came out 9 days ago. It was published at the time of this recording. And we've already sold over 17,000 copies. And it's not about the copies sold, it's about the reach of 17,000 people getting the book. And then, as I just mentioned earlier, we hit this prestigious list, the New York Times bestseller list. There's over 33 million books out there right now. And only 10 books make that list, okay? We just made that list. And what's crazy is that list is a very mainstream list. They usually like people talking about conventional approaches. This book goes against the conventional norm. Yeah. It challenges that conventional way of thinking, and it entered the list. So now that means this conversation is being had at a mainstream level, and it's exactly why I wanted to write the book. And I'm so grateful that I see it out there into the world, and I'm so grateful I get to now share about this to the people of Africa too. So it's just super cool, man.
Brilliant. Well, congratulations. I know there's a lot of work there. Probably no one knows what has gone into a book to write it over many years. So
yes,
and we're going to take it out, and we'll hopefully get a signed copy from you and get on Instagram and pump it as much as we can. Because I think the key is you wrote a word that's very specific, freedom, and sort of give us the emotion and the reason why you use that word.
My last name, Azadi, translates to freedom in Farsi. My parents are from Iran, and the language they speak in Iran is Farsi. And I'm a first generation American, and that word freedom means a lot to me. And I think everybody desires freedom. They desire financial freedom, relationship freedom, time freedom, and especially health freedom, which is metabolic freedom. So it really resonated with me to have that in the title. Metabolic freedom is metabolic flexibility. Mark Sisson, who also endorsed the book, he has been a leader talking about metabolic freedom for so many years. And it's a spin-off of what he's taught us. Everybody wants to be able to eat food and use that food for energy and burn anything else as fat and feel great. They want to wake up in the morning having great restorative sleep and having peak energy levels throughout the entire day without having to rely on caffeine or stimulants. Like, that's metabolic freedom. Unfortunately, 93% of Americans are in a metabolic prison. That's a 2022 study showing that 93% of Americans are sugar burners. When you're stuck burning sugar and glucose, you're not metabolically free. You're metabolically handcuffed. You have to rely on food for a short-term energy boost. So you're eating and grazing and snacking and grazing throughout the day. Blood sugar spikes, insulin spikes. It's not a fun way to live. You're at the grocery store, or a different example, you're at the post office, and it's been 2 hours since your last meal, and you're hangry in line, and you're irritable, you're being rude to the people in line, the staff there, because you need food. You are a sugar burner. That's not the way we want to live. Somebody who's metabolically free could go hours, days, weeks in some cases without food and feel fine because you're using body fat for energy. So that's what metabolic freedom is, to be able to live your life and thrive, depending, not worrying about when your next meal is coming.